All right, welcome back, everybody. Big Screen Small Talk, episode 6. I'm Anthony Matola,
Ryan Waltz.
and on today's episode, we're going to be discussing the newly released Amazing Spider-Man 2. We're going to be giving you our review. Ryan and I went to go see it last night at 10:15.
On May 1st.
May the 1st. It's going to be May, as all those NSYNC fans were saying on Facebook the other day. That stupid song, it's gonna be me.
Oh, it's going to be
Supposed to be me.
I get it.
Got it?
It's fun wordplay.
Looks like Oneaters. What are your thoughts? What were your impressions?
My overall impression with the film was positive. I liked it. There are some plot points in which I feel like they didn't nail completely.
Was the plot?
And there's a small plot.
2.5 hours.
Okay, well, Amazing Spider-Man's story really revolves around Gwen and Peter.
I thought they were hitting you over the head with that too, not for nothing. Like you knew spoilers. I guess we should let everybody know. Massive spoilers. It's going to be very similar to the Captain America podcast that we did previous. I thought they were hitting you over the head with that. Like the first scene they were in, I'm like, she's not going to make it through this movie. Kind of figured it out during the trailers, but I don't know. They had good chemistry together.
Well, they had great chemistry. I love Gwen, like the character of Gwen.
Yeah.
I love those two, their relationship.
Is Andrew Garfield your
Quintessential Spider-Man?
Yeah. I mean, there's only two to choose from. Right? I don't remember unless you put voices on TV.
Of the two, he's superior.
Oh yeah.
See what I did there?
I don't like Toby. That was a good word.
Superior Spider-Man. It's an ongoing series right now.
They said something last night, and the idiot behind us was like, Superior Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that guy. That fucking guy. Let me tell you, like racial stereotypes, this dude is right at the top of the fucking line. Like, I'm surprised he wasn't like throwing popcorn. Like,
repeated every fucking thing that was said. Every
little joke or quip that came out of Spider-Man's mouth, this guy had to repeat, as if him saying it made it 10 times funnier.
Yeah. And I don't know. I thought everybody was laughing way too much throughout the movie.
And he was just kicking my chair.
Yeah, the fucking moron behind me was he before the movie started. Once the lights go down, it's like enough. And that guy, I think he got it. I've seen you before. I like the chick in the front who was there with her boyfriend. She kept on. Were they kissing or whatever? Cause she kept on leaning over. And the one friend at one point was like, "Enough, Jessica." I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, the boyfriend's gonna be in deep shit when they get out of this movie because he didn't do anything. He didn't say anything.
He was like, "Yeah, Jessica."
There was no dirty look. I'm trying to watch the fucking movie. I just don't have the balls to tell you. He's able to. Oh, that I thought was really funny. That was the funniest part of the movie. Was that friend yelling at the friend's girlfriend.
What did you feel about the backstory of Peter Parker's family?
I thought it was cool. I like.
This is the first time you really hear about.
Well, it's the first time you really see his parents. Yeah, Campbell Scott, I believe, is the guy who plays his father.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I thought it was kind of cool. I liked the part in the plane. I thought that was a pretty decent action scene.
Dark Knight Rises-esque.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
I was wondering why I'd shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane. Yeah, I mean, it was good. That was one of the few parts of the plot that there were in the movie. So I mean, I felt like it was relevant to the story. I enjoyed it.
Okay, and I agree. That was probably outside of Gwen's relationship, like that whole story.
Yeah.
That was the reason why I was there. I wanted to hear about.
But I feel like after they did that, we didn't hear about it again until like 30 minutes before the movie ended.
Yeah, true. I mean, well, he finds
the Electro shit was unnecessary. It was horrible. I mean, I hate to be jumping around, but that was like that hour of the movie was terrible. He was so kitschy. I didn't like him. He was Edward Nygma. Let me ask you this, because I'm wanting to wait. I was waiting all day to do this podcast. Does Jamie Foxx, after one viewing of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, is Jamie Foxx in your top 5 worst villains of all time?
Yes.
Easy, right? Like maybe high up on the list too.
I mean, if we're putting Mr. Freeze at the top of the list, I think out of all superhero movies, he is unanimously chosen as the worst.
Yeah, I think I'd put him in as the worst.
You know, the worst super villain. He's right below it. Right fucking below it.
He was so bad.
everything. He was right there with the puns. Like he had him.
I wish I could
Shocking,
remember.
isn't it?
Yeah, what was the rhyme when he finally said who he was? There was, and I rolled my eyes and I looked at you. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know. He said something go. Elect my name's Electro.
Yeah, I thought it was
I'm
funny because the whole movie, I'm thinking you're agreeing with me. I kept on throwing, this is fucking ridiculous. This is stupid. And I'm like, all right, he's agrees with me. We get to the movie, he's like, I loved it. I was like, what? What the hell happened? The end was really good. The end brought me back, though.
For as shitty as their parts were, I still felt like it was a great progression from the first film.
I thought it was a better movie than the first film.
Yeah, like that. For all the parts that they obviously didn't get.
Yeah, but that's what bothers me is the stuff that they got right in this movie. They got it right. It was really, really good. The stuff with the family, the stuff with Gwen. The Green Goblin wasn't enough, so I'm gonna reserve my thoughts. I liked what you said yesterday with their relationship. I thought that was good. You know, he didn't want to talk to him, and then the whole unibrow, blah blah blah. That was cool, but I want to see him more as the Goblin.
Yeah, you only caught a little bit. Yeah, I loved the relationship between Harry Osborn and Peter Parker. They just picked up, like they were just like boom right away, and you believed it. You believed.
Oh yeah.
They've been best friends since they were little kids, and
you got two really good young actors. I like Andrew Garfield, and I like Dane DeHaan. I've seen him in a couple things.
British?
No, I think he's American.
Thank God.
I do think
we
he's
need more
American.
actors.
Although he was in Chronicle, I think that was the first thing that I saw him in.
I think that's how he got this. It had to have been.
And I didn't like Chronicle.
Him at the end of Chronicle is just like Green Goblin.
Yeah, he was a little whiny. I thought at certain parts in this movie, it was just I don't know, like when when he meets Spider-Man for the first time, and he tells how much do you want, and he leaves, and he did something, and I was like, well, that's like a 5-year-old. Reminded me of Hayden Christensen throwing the thing. I don't know what he threw against the wall in the second Star Wars movie.
I don't remember.
He got into a fight with it was Obi-Wan can't tell me what to do. I can do whatever I want. And he threw something like a 5-year-old girl. But no, I mean I dug that. Overall I dug that relationship, but Electro was really fucking bad. Electro was really bad, and the Rhino. Talk about wasting a fantastic actor. I mean, they're going to bring him back in the Sinister Six movie, but I didn't like the little bit that we saw of Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. I didn't like that he had to introduce himself when you finally see him. I wanted to see how the suit worked.
Okay.
You know, I was talking to Danny this morning. He's like, how did the suit work? I was like, I have no idea. I'm like, they showed it in that room. And the next thing you know, he's in it, and all you see is his head, just CG, kind of floating in this thing. I described it as the suit that Vickers got in the end of District 9. Do you remember that big thing that he was in? He was shooting. He caught the missile with it. That you don't remember?
No.
You got to go back and watch District 9.
I only saw it once.
What? That movie you need to watch like 100 times. That's a great movie.
I know. I just haven't.
But there was nothing. You didn't. I mean, I wanted a little bit of a backstory on the Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't going to give me that, just hold him out of this movie and then do it in the Sinister Six film.
Well, let's talk about the Rhino and how at the very beginning of the movie, it opens with the chase, and you meet. I don't know his real name.
Gru, because he sounded just like Gru from Despicable Me. I'm the Rhino.
And then you meet him, and then you don't. Halfway through the movie, you leaned over to me like, "Where the fuck's the Rhino?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Where the fuck is the Rhino?"
When you told me last week, I think it was when we were doing the summer movie. You were like, "He's only in it for 5 minutes." I was like, "Come on, it's got to be longer than that."
No.
Yeah, you were not. It might have been less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He was literally in the opening scene and in the final scene of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Yeah. For those people out there, that scene where he hits them with the fucking the lids, the end of the trailer. That's the end of the movie.
That's the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
And like that too, like, well, what the fuck happened? Like, what? Because I knew the movie wasn't over, because I was waiting for that scene because we hadn't seen it yet, and you got the wrap up feeling of the movie, and I'm like, well,
I was like,
2.5 hours.
I was like, please don't tell me they put the Rhino in the trailer,
and they're gonna cut him out of the movie. Yeah, I was waiting for that to be the mid credit scene.
Oh, the Rhino be the mid credit.
Yeah, there was a weird part of me that was like, well, they're gonna rush that scene, and I think they did because you didn't fucking see the outcome of the. He hits him with the manhole cover, and it's like credits. Mark Webb.
Well, let's talk about what I was thinking about today at work. Is the events happen with Gwen.
Mm.
Green Goblin is like thrown to the side, and then he's holding Gwen, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, that's the climax, pretty much.
That's the it. He didn't get angry.
No,
he didn't.
And you didn't see the Green Goblin get arrested or anything.
Yeah, you didn't see.
It was just over.
After the fact, you see the fact.
I'm happy you're coming over. You're coming over to my
No.
side.
I'm not coming over to your side. I said it has its flaws, but when Gwen dies in this movie, my feet were off the ground. My face was like, I'm looking through my fingers. I'm like, holy shit! It's gonna like the way they shot that scene. Like it built and built and built.
That was the best part of the movie for me.
Yeah, and they knew they had to do it.
I didn't know how she died. I mean, I knew she fell. I didn't realize that he, I guess, inadvertently was the. I mean, if he didn't try and help her, she was going to die anyway.
No, that's exactly. It happens on the bridge, the New York Bridge.
Yeah.
Is that the Empire?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of them. The Brooklyn Bridge?
Yeah, the Brooklyn Bridge. And Green Goblin drops her, and he catches her just in time. I did the Spider-Man motion. It's just so everybody. He went, and he catches her just in time, and he's like, "I got you," and then her neck snaps. That's how it happens in the book. But in the very next issue, he goes to take revenge on Green Goblin.
Okay.
So they should have cut Electro out of this movie.
There was no need for him.
And made the entire movie about the Green Goblin.
Totally. He was... there were parts of this movie where I'm like, I'm watching Joel Schumacher's Batman again. Because, I mean, there could have been Jim Carrey as Edward Nygma.
He had that, like, goofy hair, and he was like a fucking caricature.
Yeah, it was... I mean, it was so out of place in the movie, you know? And it's a goofy movie, you know what I mean? As far as the tone of it, it's not as serious as like in the Avengers and all those movies, they're kind of goofy too. But I mean, when they want to get serious, they get serious. Like Captain America was a fucking serious movie. There was no joking around there.
That's one thing they did right about this movie is they got Spider-Man back to what the base of Spider-Man's character was.
I give that credit to Andrew
smart,
Garfield.
The smart mouth type kid when he's in the costume. There was a lot of jokes like when they first fight Electro where he hits him with the fire hose and the camera turns and he's wearing a fireman's hat.
So stupid.
And he's like, "Good job, John." Like he knows all the firemen's names. Like
ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
Whatever.
That's so funny.
It is what it is. It doesn't. I mean, it didn't make or break the movie for me. What really pissed me off was when he was throwing Spider-Man into those, I don't know what those were, and the Itsy Bitsy Spider
song was playing.
Yeah, I was like, this is dumb.
Again, that's Electro. We've established that Electro is the worst part of the movie.
We didn't even hit all the bad parts of that.
I know, it's so bad.
It was terrible.
Electro is the worst thing.
I mean, I dug how he became Electro. I thought that was a cool scene.
When they show like him in like the cast or whatever, like his body kind of like
when he
like a cocoon.
Yeah, when he's in like the body bag and he comes out of the body bag.
And he's like moving and like his body starts like falling apart.
This could be cool.
And I'm like, dude, they nailed that. I didn't know how they were gonna do that, and they fucking nailed it.
And then as quick as they nailed it, they just totally fucking missed it.
Totally fell apart.
I'm not a Jamie Foxx guy, but I mean, I don't know. I can't. Let's get back to Gwen Stacy dying, because I thought that was the best scene in the film too. I love the way they shot it and the way she hits the floor and everything. I mean, it was just
I stopped breathing. I stopped when she started falling. I stopped breathing. My fucking knees were in my chest. I'm watching through my hands, and I'm like, it's gonna fucking. I'm like, it's gotta fucking happen. It's gotta. Is it gonna happen? Like,
why there were doubts in your mind that she was gonna die?
There were doubts, yes.
Really?
You never know what the. I know what happens, but that doesn't mean the studio is going to follow.
Yeah.
And every part of me was like, "Oh, we're going to be the smart guys who just let you think she died in this one."
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think she's going to fall, and she's going to fall, and then she's going to be fine. And when the spiderweb hit her chest, and
I thought it was cool that it looked like a hand.
Yeah, like the spiderweb, and it hit her chest, and I was like, she's okay. It hit her chest. And then as soon as my mind got safe, the camera changed angles, and you just heard a crack, and you're like, oh, fuck.
It was, I mean, like, that was, I don't want to use the word graphic, because it wasn't really, but I mean, it was, I wasn't expecting
Realistic?
it. Yeah, it was. I really wasn't expecting that. Like I went, oh, and you leaned over like you didn't know she died. I was like, not like that, no.
Yeah, you sound so shocked. I was like,
what? I knew she died, but not. Oh man, that's terrible. I thought that was a little bit of overacting at the end. Though he kept on. I thought that went on a little too long. Come back to me, because there was a part of me that's like she's gonna open her eyes.
Again, that's a famous line in the book. Like there's there's like a still that's like you can't be dead, or something. And then that's when he vows revenge.
No.
But then again, when he's holding her, and I'm like, if she opens her fucking eyes, I'm gonna be so pissed.
What?
I'm like,
was there a part of you that thought that was gonna happen?
Yeah, I was like, if she opens her eyes, they ruined the best thing that happened.
Because they held it on. It was like long. 20 seconds too long, and I'm like, she's gonna fucking wake up. She's gonna open her eyes, and yeah, I was with you. I'm like, that's it. I'm totally, because I was not out of the movie at this point, but I was. All right,
you were checking.
I'm ready to fucking go. Like popcorn's done. I got to pee again.
Did you finish that popcorn?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the only movie I've ever gotten up and peed in the middle of the movie.
We both did. I don't remember the last time I got up during a movie.
I don't.
You know, there's an app that you can download. It's like $2 called runpee.com, and it tells you all the parts of the movie to go. Like people go to the movies. They pick out the worst parts, and then it'll tell you how far into the movie you can set it, and it'll buzz your phone.
Do you want to go halves on
this is
that?
the time to go pee, and then as you're peeing, you can read what's happening in the movie so that when you get back, you don't miss anything.
That sounds like the best app.
It's cool, isn't it? Runpee.com. Well, I don't know if it's .com, but
hold on.
Runpee.
It's runpee.net. When they start paying us, then we'll give you the real fucking website.
So, Carson Palmer, the football player, his brother Jordan Palmer is the one who invented it or whatever.
Odd.
They had a Hard Knocks thing on NFL Network a couple weeks ago, and I got sucked into the marathon, and he was talking about it. I was like, that's the coolest thing. Run P. Why can't I think of shit like that?
But yeah, once Jamie Foxx got, that's when I went. The opening scene is like Richard Parker on the plane.
Yeah.
And then it cuts into you meet the Rhino and all that. And then the first time it cuts to Electro and he's like fixing his hair and he's like, I love you, Spider-Man.
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
And I was like, all right, I'm out. Like, I'm going to go and take a piss. I'm not missing anything.
Did you see the same thing that I saw as far as the Edward Nygma comparison? I mean, that was the first when I didn't realize he was going to be like a nerd like that. When they showed him, I was like,
see him in the trailer? Like that?
No, I don't remember.
There's a clip where they show him talking to Gwen, and he looks like that.
When I first saw him walking with all of the fucking the blueprints, I was like, what the fuck?
You missed a pretty bad scene now that I think about it.
Oh, thank God.
There's a part with B.J. Novak where you first meet him, who's Alistair Smythe, which is a big character in the Spider-Man universe. He invents the Spider Slayers.
What's that?
The Spider Slayers are they're like mechanical, like robot things that he sends out, and if you have spider DNA in you, it's sent to kill you.
Oh, how many other people have spider DNA in them other than Spider-Man and Venom? Does Venom have spider DNA?
No, that's a symbiote.
Okay.
Well, in the books, there's lots.
Really?
But really, he just sends them out to kill Spider-Man.
Huh.
And now, again, this is all my rare little comic book knowledge.
Yeah. You have more than little comic book knowledge.
I just know a little bit.
Okay. It's a lot more
Trust
than
me.
I know, so.
I'll get Miller in here. He can tell you about the time he got scoffed at the comic book shop. It was the funniest story.
I love when we turn on each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like we're all nerds, but you're nerdier. Because
well, there's a king nerd. There's got to be a king nerd somewhere.
This guy's the king nerd.
It's hysterical. When we met, I was like, fuck this guy.
Well, we're sitting there, and we're at the comic shop, and we're going through books, and there's this really cool cover of Juggernaut. Okay, and I'm like,
the Juggernaut, bitch.
And I was like, man, check out this picture of the Juggernaut. And from the other side of the aisle, you can see this guy's paying attention to us, and he has this really geeky voice, and he's like,
spinning.
And he's like, excuse me, how did you feel about the relationship between Red Hawk and or the Juggernaut and Red She-Hulk or something like that? And he just goes, I don't know. And the guy just goes, and me and my other friend had walked away from him at this point, and we're just like, you just got punked.
Pwned. Wow.
I'm like, you just got scotched at the comic shop. Like,
How bad? Wow. I would feel terrible about myself if that happened. I'd walk out of the store. I'd be done. I don't want these anymore.
obviously, I don't deserve
Oh,
these.
man.
So I just picture now, like, whenever we talk about comics and I'm saying something and I'm unsure of it, I like to put that out there because I picture every person on the internet as that guy.
That one guy is the only one that's listening to
Yeah.
this every show.
So when I
He
say
doesn't
things
know
like
what he
Alistair
means.
Smythe is this person, he goes, not really.
Yeah.
Like,
If you're listening, please comment.
yeah.
But
But that was they made a comment about Alistair Smythe, which will lead into the Sinister Six.
yeah.
They made a
does
comment.
he lead the Sinister Six or something? Or
No, he sets off of Oscorp, and makes his own company
okay,
called Alchemax,
okay.
I believe. Again,
Does
I'm
he
trying
work
to remember,
with the Sinister
I'm trying to remember
Six?
my
Like,
names here.
I mean, he's a villain. I'm assuming.
Yes, he is a
Okay.
villain.
Who was Mr. Fierce?
I don't know. We should have Googled that before we started.
Not even a.
Not
Not
even an
even.
inkling.
Can't even venture a guess on.
Not even
on
an
Mr.
inkling
Fierce.
on Mr. Fierce. But I assume he was the man who was talking to the lizard in the first movie at the end. Do you remember that?
No.
At the end of the first Amazing Spider-Man, Kurt Connors is in a cell, and he's talking to a shadowy figure, and they're talking about Peter's parents.
Okay.
So now and you still don't see his face.
How do you spell Fierce? Fierce.
That's Fierce Kid.
Mr. Fierce. Spider-Man? Oh, it says Marvel. It's actually. Oh, Mr. Fear. I thought that was true because we both went like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, another cool part when they're talking about Rhino, they mentioned the vault,
The vault, where all the stuff was.
or not the vault. What the fuck is the name of the prison?
24 Easter eggs and references.
You want to go down the list? We'll talk about them. I mean, you already have the page up.
Well, I just wanted to see Mr. Jamie fucking Foxx. That was terrible. That was really bad.
We just can't get over that.
No, I can't. It's hard. It's really bad because I mean, like seriously, it's. I watched Near Dark the other day, and you said, "Oh, top 5," and it's like I really can't say that because I need to watch the movie some more. And you've obviously had more time with it. You've got a better relationship with that movie than I do. But I can instantly tell you that he's one of the worst. Like that might make me not watch the movie again. Like I have to sit through this fucking performance. So bad, so bad. Killer Cassidy caught. I don't know. I just want to see fucking Mr. Fierce. Oh, Carnage, it says?
Yeah, Cassidy's Carnage. Cletus Cassidy.
Apparently there was a thing on the Daily Bugle in the movie that said Killer Cassidy caught. But I feel at the end of the movie when they were showing all of that stuff for the Sinister Six, that was, I mean, wasn't Carnage one of the guys that they alluded to? And
Carnage isn't going to be in Sinister Six. He's going to be in Venom's solo
why do you
film.
say that?
Because I just don't see where he'd fit.
Huh.
And you can't bring Carnage in until you bring in Venom, because they're both
Well, isn't
symbiotes.
Venom going to be in the...
Sinister Six. No,
Are you sure?
I'd be shocked if he was in the Sinister Six.
Why? Is he not in the Sinister Six?
No, I don't believe he's ever been in the Sinister Six.
I just remember from the trailer there was that, Venom. They mentioned Venom like when Harry Osborn is looking through that computer, the Tony Stark looking computer touchscreen.
Table.
Yeah.
Well, they also say Dr. Morbius.
Oh, that just came up on this stupid thing. Who's
you know-
Dr. Morbius?
That's Dr. Morbius is the living vampire. You might
What?
remember him from the Spider-Man cartoon.
I have no idea.
He's just like Kurt Connors, but instead of an alligator, he was trying to do a bat, pretty much.
Oh.
And he has to suck blood to, He's a vampire.
I thought it was cool they mentioned J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, twice.
They don't show him though at all.
That's 'cause
Stan Lee's cameo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, overall, as far as the movie, I didn't really think too much of it going in to it. I was
Yeah.
expecting to hate it, and I was pleasantly surprised, I guess. But I do have
That's
a
what
lot of
I'm saying.
issues.
I have
with
to
the
watch it
movie.
again. I'm probably going to go see it Sunday.
Oh, you're gonna go see it again?
Yeah.
Wow,
My friend wants to go see it. I'm not going to make him
man.
go by himself.
I don't know if I'd sit through that again in the theater.
I have to because I feel so uncertain about it right now. I don't know if I like it so much because I want to like it so much.
Or
you know what I
because
mean?
you actually like it.
Like at this point, I feel like I might have like Stockholm syndrome. Like my mind is just, I was so excited about it that my mind convinced me that I liked it.
I was surprised when we walked out of the theater. You're like, I like that a lot. I was like, really? I was like, wait a minute. What part?
But hold on. When I said I liked it a lot, what did I follow that up with?
I don't remember.
I followed it up with, but Electro is the worst thing that's ever happened.
That was.
He's fucking terrible.
It's so bad.
The more we're talking about it,
I think it's funny that this is turning into an Electro bitch fest.
Yeah.
That the scene with him in the.
When he's in the building.
Like
his
my
face,
eyes rolled. I did an Undertaker eye roll. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was the only time I was on your side too. The second that happened, I looked right over you like,
so stupid.
Did that really? And it looked bad. That was
the whole thing looked bad. I tell you what, the CG for the majority of the movie looked fucking incredible.
Spider-Man's never looked as good.
I wish other people, whoever did that CG, would go and do every movie now.
Yeah, I don't know
because it was so seamless.
Yeah, it was so. Everything looked.
It looked real.
It looked very. I love how they kind of kept the aspect ratio of Peter Parker very. I feel like in Sam Raimi's. Yeah, let me backtrack a little bit. I feel like in Sam Raimi's, it was big shots with small Spider-Man swinging through. Whereas in this, it's it's big Spider-Man, and you see him.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, back in when those movies came out, like that type of CG was. I mean, it was really in its infancy. And I remember going to see that movie going, oh, it looked fucking great.
And I love what they did with the web slinging. Like, they did a lot with it. Like, he wasn't just swinging. He was running up the walls.
Oh, yeah.
And things, I don't feel like they did a lot of that in Sam Raimi.
No,
a lot of, like, parkour type stuff. You know what I mean?
I like What's-His-Face. I liked Andrew Garfield. And I think the same thing with I got the same feeling last night watching the second one as I did watching Chris Evans play Captain America for the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Was like the first one was whatever. I was like, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't kind of what I was hoping for. And I really think he fell into he understands the character. He's become Peter Parker. He's become Spider-Man. You know, to me, I don't want to see anybody else do it. And from what I'm reading, nobody else is going to do it.
Yeah, I actually went, right when I came home last night, I read an article about how they said, because last time when we did our summer movie preview, we talked about Miles Morales taking the reins. But they said when you have a character as big as Spider-Man and a character as big as Peter Parker, you can't. Basically, they said they're not going to ever
kill him off.
Be no Peter Parker.
Yeah. But don't they do it in the comic book?
Oh yeah, he just came back to life.
What?
In the comics,
is he a zombie?
No, in the comics there was a run called
Mr. Fear. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah,
they probably changed it.
The sequel finally reveals who the sinister-looking man in the shadows from the first movie's post-credit sequence was. In what some wrongly thought was going to be the post-credit sequence for the sequel, the man speaks to Harry Osborn about setting up the Sinister Six and is finally given a name, Mr. Fear, which will be notable to Spidey fans. Fear, who bears a lot of similarities to Batman's Scarecrow, was originally a villain for Daredevil, but became a foe to Spidey when he tried to use fear gas in criminal schemes. So
now we know.
Useless. Spent all that time.
One character in this movie that I just cannot fucking get over, Sally Fields. Like, what a pointless fucking character.
Yeah.
She had one redeeming scene where she's that whole, like, you're my kid. I got, like, that
was good.
When she's like, you know, you're looking for your dad, but he fucking left you. You're my kid.
I like Sally Field.
And that scene, I was like, okay, like, I'm feeling that. I felt like that was such a real conversation that you don't see in movies.
No. Well, you don't see in those type of movies anyway.
Yeah, where any other movie, she would have been like, well, let me tell you about your dad.
Yeah.
No, in this movie, she's like, fuck you. Like, well, how could you do that to me? We raised you.
And he had to reassure her that, you know, I love you. I am your kid.
He says you're all I'll ever need or something like that.
You're my everything or something like that.
And I'm getting goosebumps
Yeah.
talking about it.
But that's what I mean. Like there was so much stuff that they got right. They got
But
the
then-
relationships right, and then it's like,
But then the only other thing you hear about her in the movie is that she's taking nursing school.
that bothered me. Having a big medical background, it's like she's in nursing classes, and then yet she's yelling at everybody to do this when fucking Electro takes all the
Those
power out
scenes
of the
were
city. All right,
pointless.
everybody, let's go. No, I didn't need
Unless
to see
they
her
were-
in the fucking hospital. I didn't need to see
That's
her
what
in
I'm
the fucking
saying.
hospital.
That's what I'm saying. Her, unless you're going to put her in some kind of danger
Yeah.
in which she, escapes herself. Like, I hate when they do that cut scene stuff
Mm-hmm.
where they cut between different scenarios, especially one that's completely useless to story
Yeah.
A. But if you're going to show something going on, like story A and story B, which story B being the hospital,
Yeah.
at least make it worth me. Nothing happened. Oh, they're like, oh, the power's out. Yeah, we got to get these machines working.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully, there's a backup.
Yeah.
That was it. They showed airplanes, and I was like,
Yeah, that I didn't understand what the point of that was. They were gonna collide.
why the
What?
fuck do we care? Like,
They were out for 4 minutes. Like, what the fuck were you doing before that happened? Why would these planes even
and you're
like
telling me
4
planes,
minutes away from?
and you're telling me planes have nothing in house that can tell them something's coming?
No, there's
They don't?
nothing. I don't have no idea.
I mean, I would imagine they
I'm
have
going
some
with the-
kind of radar.
I'm suspending reality here and going with Mark Webb and whoever fucking wrote which I think was a really bad script. I don't get how you can get things so right and then get things so very wrong.
Wrong. So wrong. Like, you fight Electro for 20 minutes and nobody cares. And then you squeeze in the Green Goblin fight and Gwen Stacy's death in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, he picks her up off the ground, they take her into the air,
I
they
wanted
fight
to
for
see
like...
more of the Goblin.
So did I. I
You
wanted
know?
to see an entire movie of Dane DeHaan? Dane DeHaan.
It's a weird name.
What's that Asian guy's name?
Which guy?
You know which one.
The Asian guy's name.
From Godzilla.
Oh, Godzilla. What? Oh, Ken Watanabe. Who the fuck
It's Ken Watanabe. But yeah, that was my problem with it. If you take away Electro and you give me the story between Green Goblin and them, like, I would be so happy.
If you take away Electro and you have an hour and a half, hour and 50-minute movie, you have a much, much better movie. And I think
we're gonna have to wait until we get
better-
like a fan edit of this film.
What, we're gonna have to fucking edit it. Just fast forward. Okay, we don't need to see all of this. There's a good chunk of 30 minutes in the middle of that movie that didn't need to be there. The whole thing with Electro, even when fucking Harry Osborn went to Electro to break him out of the prison, I thought that was, why do you need him? Why did he need him? That was unnecessary because didn't he at that point
he needed
didn't he
Electro to get back into Oscorp,
Oh, that's right. Okay, so plot. Wow. Okay,
and because
that was the only part of the plot
and
that
because
Electro was
the part
relevant
that
with.
you shit. I still didn't even tell you about the part with BJ Novak. The part where BJ Novak they're explaining that Electro created that bridge, the electrical bridge that brings everything together, blah blah blah.
Uh-huh.
And that's why he brought Electro back. You know, he said you can go and you can tap into the electrical bridge or whatever. But BJ Novak says he's like, I created that, and BJ Novak's like, yeah, sure, and I'm Spider-Man,
Huh.
and his character Dylan is his name,
Max Dillon.
Dillon. He grabs him up by his neck, and he's like, you can never be Spider-Man. You're a Sagittarius, and Spider-Man's a Leo.
Wow.
And then it cuts, and it's like his fantasy, like he wants to do that. You know what I mean?
Oh, he wasn't real in his head. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Whatever.
that's
unnecessary.
in his mind. You're going to take us to a spot, like, show us the worst thing he could do to this person.
And it's just shake him.
And it's shake him and tell him he's a Sagittarius.
Yeah. How did?
Like, that should be your
It's
part
stupid.
where, like, he, picks up a vase and, like, hits him in the head or something.
Anything but
Something
yell at his
violent.
astrological
Something to show us
sign.
he may be, like, this nice guy on the outside, but he has this underlying
Insanity.
violence.
Yeah, I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't.
And what's he do? He shakes him and makes
Yeah.
fun of his astrological symbol.
A waste of a character. Totally unnecessary.
I love how we keep like going off and going off,
And it all comes
then
back to
coming back to
Electro.
Electro.
All comes back to Electro. I mean, there was. Because there's no reason for that movie to be 2.5 hours. When I ordered the tickets, before I fucking purchased them, I was like, do I want to go to the movie at 10:15, a 2.5 hour fucking movie that I'm not totally sure I want to go see in the theater yet? There was a part of me that was gonna be like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not gonna go. I went for the sake of the show, so I hope everybody's sick. I went sick for the sake of the show, so I hope everybody who listens appreciates the effort. But I said it earlier, and once I slept on it and I got up this morning, I was thinking about it. I liked it a lot more today than I did initially walking out of the theater last night.
At midnight, yeah, I bet you did.
But it's 50-50 for me. You know, it's not.
It's split right down the middle.
I give it a C. You know, it gets a 5 out of a 10.
5 out of a 10.
Yeah. Maybe a 6.
For special effects.
Yeah, the way it looked and the relationships, the emotional relationships were good. I don't know where they're gonna go with it. There's too many fucking villains. I don't care what anybody says. There's the Sinister Six movie. Too many fucking villains. 6 people in a movie. There's too many.
Well, okay. Well, let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about the next movies that are coming out, because Sinister Six is very real. They lead into it in this film.
That's the next one, right?
And they talk about it, and we have confirmed that movie and Venom. So, what are your thoughts on Sinister Six?
Well, wait. Is Venom going to be a standalone movie?
Yeah. You know that?
No.
No, it's a standalone. Venom's a standalone.
So what is it going to be called? Spider-Man Venom? Or
no, it's just going to be called Venom.
Venom. But and what about the Sinister Six?
What about the Sinister Six?
Spider-Man's going to be in that movie, but it's not a Spider-Man movie.
No, Spider-Man's not in Sinister
Six. So then what are we watching then?
I don't. That's what we're talking about.
It seemed. I don't want to. I love villains. I don't want to see villains without somebody to fucking fight. That's ridiculous. They're gonna be fighting all these New York City cops. Big deal. They always win. It's stupid. That's dumb. It should be called Spider-Man: The Sinister Six.
You think that should be the third film?
Yeah.
Instead of Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Amazing Spider-Man 3?
Yeah. Well, Amazing Spider-Man 3, Sinister Six. Well, Rise of the Sinister Six. The origin, formation of anything. Pick any adjective you want. I mean, to watch a movie just about the Sinister, it doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to fight.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you the fact that we don't know what they're going to do.
No, I mean, all we know, and there's speculation as to who it is too. We're not totally sure of the lineup. I mean, I think we have an idea, but what it's going to be, Doc Ock.
Doc Ock, his arms are in the movie.
Vulture.
Show the Vulture.
Rhino.
Which the Rhino, it's really funny. The Rhino they show before he gets in the suit is like 3 times smaller than the actual Rhino.
The guy in the Rhino in the comic book is a big guy?
No. In the movie, when they show Fierce walking past all the gadgets.
Yeah.
And he's alluding to the Sinister Six.
Yeah, it was kind of like crumpled on itself, I thought.
Yeah, and it's really small.
It's like
it wasn't much bigger than Fierce.
They had to like bend things backwards just to fit it in that fucking room.
Yeah. And then when you see it, it's like 9 feet tall.
I am
9 feet tall. Is that tall?
Sure. 9 feet high, 9 feet tall.
Is it 12? Let's go 12 feet high.
You're 6 feet tall. You say, how tall are you? 6 feet tall. Yeah, no, I'll give it to you.
Okay. So we said Doc Ock, Vulture,
Rhino, Goblin, Green Goblin, and then Kraven. We mentioned last night,
allegedly,
and Chameleon.
See, a Chameleon is where this all falls apart.
Why is that?
Because right now, if we did those 5, okay, Green Goblin we get away with. He has a disease in this film, they tell you, which deteriorates his body. So he becomes Green Goblin. That's in a realistic world. Okay?
Yeah.
Kraven is a hunter who comes to hunt.
He's a regular dude.
He's just a regular dude. He's just ripped.
He's a bad guy.
He's just ripped like dude. Jesus. Vulture has wings, but he's actually an old man.
Okay.
He's a really old man. Rhino has his suit, and Doc Ock has his arms.
Yeah.
When you bring Chameleon in, unless he has some kind of device that is changing him,
it's almost like he's a mutant.
That kind of takes you to that takes a weird twist on things.
Now, well, this is.
Well, I mean, and he might have a suit.
Speaking of mutants, there was no mid-credit scene. The mid-credit scene that we got was a sneak peek of
Days
Days of Future Past.
Which wasn't really great.
No, it was nothing. Now, but seeing as that was on Spider-Man, do you think at some point there's going to be a tie-in? The X-Men or Spider-Man, one of them are going to show up in, like, do they live in the same universe? Or it's just like Sony owns both of them and we're just going to put it on this movie because...
Sony doesn't own X-Men. 20th Century Fox does.
Oh. See, then that kind of leads me more to believe that we might at some point.
If we're going to see
them.
anything together, it's going to be X-Men, Fantastic Four.
Why would they put it on? Why would they put a little preview on Spider-Man though?
Maybe they both own. Maybe Sony owns 20th Century. I don't know. What I love is that we didn't talk about Venom at all.
What are we gonna? Well, you said earlier that he wasn't in it. I don't know what's there to talk about.
I want to talk about the standalone film.
But again, what's the point of a standalone Venom film? Who's he gonna fight? Is Spider-Man gonna be in it? Okay. I didn't realize that he had a.
Carnage is Venom's villain.
Okay.
At one point,
isn't Venom a villain though?
No. Well, yes.
Okay.
But over time, Venom has become an anti-hero.
Oh, like a Punisher type of deal.
Yeah, exactly like the Punisher. So that's why I'm saying, like, the Venom movie, I'm looking forward to a lot.
Okay. Well, now that you say that, I could see that. At some point, him and Spider-Man are gonna have to mix it up, though.
They're gonna have to.
You don't think so? They have to. They
owe
us for fucking Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
That they have to mix it up. I don't know. So far, overall, I guess I like this series better than the Sam Raimi series. Which is, it really hurts my heart to say that because I love Sam Raimi. But I'm not thrilled with the Spider-Man movies. The last night, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I thought was the best one.
And it's not saying much.
No, yeah.
Split right down the middle.
It's really, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, it was cool that we had something to do last night.
Yeah.
I thought that was neat. I hope you guys enjoyed the video that we posted before and
going
after.
up tonight.
Yeah. So I got nothing else. I got nothing else about that. What about you?
No, I mean, I can't think of anything.
I mean, go see it. I want everybody to go see these movies. Everybody needs to go see.
There's something I said about Walking Dead, and it fits for comic book movies, even though they're being successful right now.
It won't take but one fucking bomb for these movies to be.
You saw what happened with
done.
DC after Green Lantern. Like,
I don't understand why movies like The Punisher, they can't get it right. Spider-Man, they can't get it right. Like, I don't.
Because there's a room full of old people who are writing these movies.
Yeah, but why don't they go and do what Marvel did with the Avengers and with the Iron Man movies? And
that's what they're trying to do with the Sinister Six.
Who's writing that?
They own the Spider-Man universe, and they don't have any other heroes, so they have to do the villains.
But whatever it is, but you got to bring in the right people to make the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Joss Whedon is the only guy
who can
make...
They bring in people, but they get over...
I don't feel like Mark Webb has the same passion for Spider-Man as Joss Whedon does for Marvel. Joss Whedon, not only did he direct the Avengers, but then he's like, I'm going to fucking be a part of this universe. This guy is like me or you going, I love these characters. I've loved these characters my whole life. I'm going to treat them the way that they should be treated.
He's also a comic book writer.
Yeah, but, well... That's what I mean. He should. I mean, these are people who they care for these characters deeply. Maybe it's ridiculous, but I don't think so. That's why those movies are so good. There's more than just Joss Whedon out there. There's more than the J.J. Abrams that feel for these things.
Well, they got the two guys from Community to do Captain America.
First of all, those guys started on a show you hate, my friend.
What's that?
Arrested Development. Okay.
What did they do? They just pointed the camera in one spot. It's not like they're doing.
I'm just saying.
It's not like they're doing camera tricks.
I'm just saying. Maybe you go back and rewatch it.
I've watched Arrested Development 3 times.
Arrested Development is a great show.
And when it gets funny, I'll let you know.
You're not when it's been funny. So I don't know. You got anything else to add?
I will rewatch all. Okay, we'll do it better right now. I will rewatch all of Arrested Development.
Okay.
And how many seasons is that? 5?
5.
If you watch the first 5 seasons of The Office.
Okay. Office is a half hour?
Yeah. Well, no.
It's not a half hour.
I think it's a full hour.
The Office?
I don't know.
With Steve Carell?
Fucking no, dude. I've seen it. I don't know.
Jesus. All right, I'll do that. We just got to pick a time when we're going to start it. Is The Office on Netflix?
Yes.
It is on Netflix. Okay. Fuck.
All 9 seasons.
9 seasons? I'm only agreeing to 5.
That's why I said
If it goes any further, it's because I've changed my mind. All right, well, you heard it here, folks. Keep tabs.
We'll keep you up to date. We'll do a review of
Yeah.
each season.
I guarantee you it's going to be like August and none of us has started watching.
I started watching it the other day.
You started watching what the other day? Arrested Development?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. Why?
Do you want to get on my Netflix?
Why?
I watch it every couple of months to see if my feelings
You're
change.
ridiculous. So good. Shoot me. You nuts. It's so good. But I don't know. As far as Spider-Man goes,
Yeah.
I think
Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, good. Electro, terrible.
give me your grade or out of 10?
6.5.
We're pretty close as to how we felt then.
But see, my problem with it is a lot of the character development.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of shit I needed to see,
Yeah.
and the shit I wanted to see, they didn't hold on long enough.
Did it need to be 2.5 hours long?
Yes.
It did?
It did need to be 2.5 hours long, but they filmed the wrong stuff.
See, I feel like that stuff with Gwen and Peter and Harry and Peter, they told that story. It could have been 2 hours. It needed to be 2.5 hours. 2.5. It was way too long, and it's all
There wasn't
the
enough.
stuff.
There wasn't enough story.
No, there was no fucking plot. It was very thin on plot.
That's what I'm saying. It needed to be 2 hours. There was story to tell.
Yeah.
But they didn't tell it, and they didn't tell it right. So that's why it gets a 6.5. But I love what they did with Spider-Man, the character of Spider-Man.
I agree with you.
It's everything when he's outside of the suit I kind of have a problem with. And Electro.
Yeah.
So that takes away from the grade. 6.5.
Electro is bad. So, all right, everybody. Just a quick, again, thank you, everybody who has listened to the previous shows. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nice to be able to go to YouTube and see our numbers keep slowly rising. So we appreciate it very much.
Remember to like our videos, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Big Screen Small Talk, twitter.com/BSST Podcast.
It's at BSST Podcast. I'm just saying. I'm going to be typing backslash, but where the fuck are they? I don't know.
Okay. Now we know.
So, well, yeah, that's our review of The Amazing Spider-Man. Guys, comment. You want something you want to hear about?
Let's start the conversation, guys. We started it. You got to respond.
Yeah, so we want to hear from you. We do this hoping that you guys are enjoying it. Even if you don't like it, tell us you don't like it. Let us know.
You just
know?
open the floodgates.
That's
my
fine.
friend.
I got no problem with that. I've got no problem with negative comments. Let us know. Let us know whatever, good, bad, and different. You got anything you want to hear? Let us know. We're willing to talk about anything. So that just about wraps it up, I guess. I'm Anthony Matola.
I'm Ryan Waltz.
And we'll see you when we see you.